And I wanted to bring this up too. There's a shot of him walking behind a couple of houses in the dark. It is one of my favorite shots of the entire trailer. It's got the blue lighting that we loved in the original that made the original so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the shape in that scene. Like you only see the silhouette of his body. And I honestly wonder if that's Nick Castle playing him in that scene because it's got that liquidy, emotionless walk to it. Do you know which scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he's walking by the shed or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's walking behind houses. Like there's a playground and then there's a couple houses and he's walking but he's completely in shadow. Like you can see the shadow like moving, but that's it. And I adored that shot. It's almost hard to equate the 60-year-old Michael to 21-year-old Michael because in the original he was a ninja. You know what I mean? He was in the shadows, he was stealthy. He didn't kill that many people. Like in the
Mm.
original Halloween, he really only killed I believe 3 people. 4 if you count the guy that he stole the car from that Loomis finds like on the side of the interstate. But it's almost like I don't know. Old man Michael is even stronger, and it makes Laurie's line, which is my other favorite line from the trailer, when she says, "The more he kills, the more he transcends," is so much more meaningful because of that. Like the older he gets, the crazier he gets. The more he kills, the more brutal and the angrier he becomes. It's just it's almost like the older he gets and the more he kills, it's like the angrier and the more brutal he becomes. Like I just repeated myself, but it's crazy. Like it's just wild to think that it's almost like the 60-year-old version of him is 10 times more brutal than the 21-year-old version of him when he first escaped in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of
Yeah,
wild.
I agree with that. I think I don't know. It's just the fact that like I like the line she says again, like how the more he kills, the more I guess the more powerful he becomes. It's kind of
I
like giving
know.
him like a supernatural kind of vibe. It's
Is he
like
supernatural
he,
or is he not?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like he is flesh and bones, but the more he kills, the more I guess supernatural he becomes because it's like the more powerful he becomes. It's like he feeds off the murders that he commits.
Yes, it's like he feeds off of killing people, and
Hmm.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
obviously that's the case, but I think it was really powerful for her to like actually
yeah,
state it because we kind of knew to a
yeah,
certain degree. Like the more he kills, the more vicious and powerful he becomes. But
yes,
for her to say it herself and be like, if we don't stop him, he's going to become more powerful than we can imagine. I
yes,
think that was a really pivotal moment, and I think that's where the community realized it as well. Like this isn't just some serial killer out and about that's gonna kill and then disappear. No, he's going to continue doing this all night,
this is
and we
something
have to stop
else.
him.
Like this is
Yeah,
not. This is not. I say normal serial killer. Not that there's anything as a normal serial killer,
it's
but
like
this is not a normal crime.
mhm.
This is something more.
It's like a tiger got set loose. You know what I mean? It's
What?
it's like it's
No,
it's like a well,
no.
like okay, well you know those like in
Like
like
a
most of the
blowout.
no like you've seen like the news reels about sometimes like a cat gets like a tiger gets out loose and he starts running a rampage and all that and it's freaking a lot of people out and it's scaring a lot of people knowing it's out there. It's kind of like that. It's like
Okay.
he's been set free, he's out there and he's killing people. Like you like obviously you know a tiger, like if a tiger sees you it's gonna kill you like straight up. So like it's the same principle. It's like if Michael Myers gets out, like he's going to kill the first thing he sees. What he sees
Yes.
he's gonna kill. So like the community now knows that and they're aware of the situation. So they're thinking, okay, well, we got to put this guy down, or I guess capture him or something like that.
Or a
Some
lot
people
of
probably,
people are gonna die.
Yeah, or a lot of people are going to die, and like we have to put a stop to it, or else it's going to be a lot of casualties.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, yeah, it's like they're showing Michael to be like some crazed animal that's just been set loose into this domestic environment, and it has
Yes.
to be put down. That's kind of that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, and you bring up the community thing, and here's the thing that I thought was so prolific of you to say, and I'm really glad you said this. And you said it after we hung up our well, after we stopped recording our trailer reaction. But part of what makes this so you had said part of what makes this so terrifying and unlike any other horror movie is that the entire town has banded together to fight Myers and to fight back, and they're still losing. Like all of these
Yeah,
people have come together to fight him, and he's still killing them. Like they still can't stop him.
yeah,
Firefighters, police officers, armed civilians, rednecks with guns, like whatever. They're still winning,
yeah. It's like
or
this.
he's
It's like
still winning.
it's like the whole thing. Like I mentioned all the time that I hated in H2 or in the Rob Zombie ones was that there's so many people like that could just honestly just there's so many like law abiding citizens could like see this and just actually take matters in their hands.
Right,
Like we're seeing that actually happen come to fruition, where it's like I'm seeing what I always wanted to see in the type of horror movie is like
right,
everyone coming together to take them on. But I think now it makes it more scary the fact that the community is going to take him on, and he's still winning. Like the community isn't. It's still They're still a disadvantage. Like they're
I
still at a
know.
disadvantage
Yeah,
because as you can see throughout the movies, like he's still running about. There's going to be a couple of run-ins with Michael Myers and a group of the
right.
community that goes after him, and obviously
Yeah.
he's going to pick them off one by one.
Well, the firefighters had stuff they could use as weapons, and he still killed every single last one of them,
Exactly, and it's like,
and
and as
escaped
you
from a
just
burning house.
yeah, so he's clearly like he's clearly out of what's it out of nature, or like out of this world, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like he's not it's not even like a natural force that Michael Myers is presenting. It's something beyond that.
He's
You know
like
what
a
I mean?
force of nature. Like you can't. That's what's so genius about that character is you can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
He is a 60-year-old man, and not to say that 60-year-old men can't be strong or can't do any of these things, because there are some jacked 60-year-old men out there.
Look at Chuck Norris. Yeah, there you
Look,
go.
exactly. Look at a
Yeah,
lot of
so
these action heroes. They're in their late 70s, and they're still ripped. They could still kick any one of our.
mhm.
But it's just it. He's so normal. He's seemingly so. He's not ripped. He's not a big bulky. He's not Jason. You know what I mean? He's just a. He looks normal. He's not. There's no making sense of any of what he does at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Thinking about the whole concept of the whole